Hey there, and welcome back. Before we dive in today, I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and thought, that did not go the way I wanted? Maybe you tried to convince your boss to give you that raise. Maybe you had an argument with someone you love, and instead of solving it, things got worse. Or maybe you just feel like, no matter how smart or hardworking you are, people just don't seem to listen to you. If any of that sounds familiar, this video is going to change your life. Today, we're summarizing one of the most powerful books ever written about human relationships. A book that has sold over 30 million copies worldwide. A book that has been recommended by presidents, CEOs, and some of the most successful people on the planet. We're talking about How to Win Friends and Influence People, by Dale Carnegie. Stick with me for the next 30 minutes, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll have a completely new way of seeing people, conversations, and success itself. Let's get into it. So who is Dale Carnegie, and why should you care about what he has to say? Dale Carnegie was born in 1888 in rural Missouri, USA, the son of a poor farmer. He struggled early in life. He was awkward. He didn't come from money. And yet, this man went on to become one of the greatest teachers of human communication the world has ever seen. In 1936, yes, almost 90 years ago, Carnegie published How to Win Friends and Influence People. And here's the remarkable thing, the advice in this book is just as relevant today as it was then. Maybe even more relevant, in a world where we've forgotten how to actually talk to each other. The book is built on one simple, powerful idea: your success in life, whether in business, relationships, or leadership, depends almost entirely on how well you deal with people. Carnegie didn't just theorize about this. He spent decades studying successful people, interviewing leaders, and teaching thousands of students. He discovered patterns, specific, repeatable habits that made some people magnetic, persuasive, and deeply respected. And the best part? You don't have to be born with charisma. These are skills. And like any skill, they can be learned. The book is divided into 4 major parts. We're going to walk through each one, chapter by chapter, with real-life examples and practical takeaways you can start using today. Chapter 1, If you want to gather honey, don't kick over the beehive. Let's start with a story. In 1931, a notorious criminal named Two Gun Crowley was cornered by police in a New York apartment. After a standoff, when they finally arrested him, you know what he said? He said he had done nothing wrong. He felt completely justified. Now, this man was a murderer. And he still didn't think he was the bad guy. Carnegie's point? 99% of people, no matter what they've done, do not blame themselves. Criticism doesn't work. It bruises the ego, creates resentment, and changes nothing. Think about the last time someone criticized you. Did it make you want to change? Or did it make you defensive? Carnegie's golden rule here: don't criticize, condemn, or complain. White heavy checkmark. Instead of pointing out what someone did wrong, try understanding why they did it. Empathy, not judgment, is where influence begins. Chapter 2, The Big Secret of Dealing with People. Here's a question: what do all human beings want, more than almost anything else? The answer: to feel important. To be appreciated. To know that they matter. Carnegie calls this the big secret. And the way to unlock it? Give people sincere, genuine appreciation. Notice I said sincere. This isn't flattery. Flattery is shallow, people can see through it. But honest, heartfelt appreciation? That's rare. And people remember it. Think about the teachers, mentors, or bosses who made the biggest difference in your life. I'm willing to bet they made you feel valued. They noticed what you did well, and they told you. Make a habit of noticing one thing someone does well every day, and telling them. Watch how your relationships transform. Chapter 3, He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. Here's the most important chapter in part 1. Maybe in the whole book. Carnegie asks, when you go fishing, what bait do you use? You use what the fish likes, not what you like. That seems obvious when we're talking about fishing. But in conversations, most of us talk about what we want. We pitch our ideas, our needs, our goals. Carnegie says, flip the script. Talk about what the other person wants. Show them how your idea benefits them. Henry Ford once said, if there is any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as your own. Before any important conversation, ask yourself, what does this person want? What do they care about? Then frame your message around their interests. Part 2, 6 Ways to Make People Like You. Chapter 1, do this and you'll be welcome anywhere. Become genuinely interested in other people. Simple, right? And yet, almost nobody does it. Most people listen not to understand, but to respond. They wait for their turn to talk. Carnegie says, flip this. Be genuinely curious about the person in front of you. Ask about their life. Remember what they told you last time. Follow up. Carnegie's dog, Rex, was a perfect example. Rex was thrilled to see Carnegie every time he came home. No agenda. Pure excitement. And Carnegie noticed, that dog made him feel amazing. Why? Because Rex was 100% focused on him. At your next meeting or social event, make it your goal to learn something genuinely interesting about each person you talk to. Chapter 2, a simple way to make a good first impression. Smile. You might be thinking, that's it. That's the chapter. But here's what Carnegie says, your smile communicates more than your words. It says, I'm happy to see you. You matter to me. I'm not a threat, I'm a friend. And this isn't just about a fake, plastered-on grin. Carnegie means a real smile. The kind that comes from actually choosing to feel good about the interaction. Because guess what? Emotions can be chosen. Action and feeling go together. Before walking into any room, a meeting, a date, a difficult conversation, take 1 second and consciously decide to be glad you're there. Your face will follow. Chapter 3, if you don't do this, you are headed for trouble. Remember names. Carnegie calls a person's name the sweetest, most important sound in any language. And he's right. When someone uses your name, it signals that you matter enough to them that they bother to remember. Jim Farley, who helped elect Franklin D. Roosevelt as U.S. President, could remember the first name of 50,000 people. That's not magic. That's a system. He repeated names immediately when meeting someone. He used them in conversation. He wrote them down. When you meet someone new, repeat their name out loud 3 times in the first few minutes of conversation. You'll almost never forget it. Chapter 4, an easy way to become a good conversationalist. Here's a secret that most people find counterintuitive. The best conversationalists don't talk a lot. They listen a lot. To be interesting, be interested. Ask people about their lives, their passions, their experiences. And then, truly listen. Don't interrupt. Don't finish their sentences. Don't check your phone. Carnegie tells the story of a dinner party where he spent the entire evening asking a botanist about his work and saying almost nothing himself. At the end of the night, the botanist told his host that Carnegie was the most interesting conversationalist he'd ever met. He hadn't said anything remarkable. He'd simply given the man his full attention. In your next conversation, try talking for less than 30% of the time. Ask great questions. Then shut up and listen. Chapter 5, How to Interest People. Talk about what they love. Before meeting someone, do your homework. What are their passions? What do they care about? What have they recently worked on or accomplished? Then bring that up. Not as manipulation, but as genuine curiosity and respect. Theodore Roosevelt did this with everyone he met. He'd researched their interests the night before a meeting. And people loved him for it. Because they felt truly seen. Before any important meeting, spend 5 minutes learning about the person, their recent wins, their interests, their background. Open with that. Chapter 6, How to Make People Like You Instantly. Make the other person feel important. And do it sincerely. Carnegie ends part 2 with what may be the most underrated lesson of the entire book. Every person you meet, no matter their title or status, wants to feel that they matter. That they are valued. That they are not invisible. So notice the janitor's name. Thank the server who brought your food. Acknowledge the colleague who usually gets overlooked. These small acts cost you nothing. But to the person receiving them, they can be life-changing. Every day, make at least one person feel truly important. Do it with no expectation of return. Part 3, How to Win People to Your Way of Thinking. Chapter 1, You Can't Win an Argument. True story, Carnegie says the only way to win an argument is to avoid it. Even if you win an argument, you lose. Because you've made the other person feel bad. You've bruised their ego. And now they resent you. They won't change their mind, they'll just find new reasons to justify what they originally believed. Debate competitions are won. But in real life, nobody who is beaten into agreement stays changed. When you feel an argument brewing, pause. Ask yourself, is being right more important than this relationship? Almost always, the answer is no. Chapter 2, A Sure Way of Making Enemies, and How to Avoid It. Don't tell people they're wrong. Even if they are wrong, don't tell them directly. Because the moment you say, you're wrong, you've triggered their ego defense system. Now they're not thinking about whether you're right. They're thinking about how to prove you wrong. Instead, ask questions. Share your perspective with humility. Say, I could be wrong, but here's how I see it. Or, that's an interesting point, have you considered? Replace, you're wrong with, I see it differently, here's why. You'll get far less resistance. Chapter 3, If you're wrong, admit it. Now here's the flip side. If you are wrong, admit it. Quickly, clearly, and without excuses. This disarms people. When you beat them to the criticism, when you say, I was completely wrong and I should have known better, they suddenly want to defend you. It's counterintuitive but deeply human. The next time you make a mistake at work or at home, own it immediately and fully. Say, I was wrong. Here's what I should have done. Watch how people respond. Chapters 4 to 12, The Big Ideas. Carnegie gives us several more powerful tools in the rest of Part 3. Let me give you the highlights. Begin with praise and honest appreciation, before bringing up any criticism or correction. Start with the good. Get the other person saying, yes, yes immediately. Ask questions they'll agree with. Build momentum toward agreement. Let the other person do most of the talking. People trust their own conclusions far more than yours. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. Plant seeds. Guide. Don't steal the spotlight, give it away. Appeal to noble motives. People like to think of themselves as honest, generous, and fair. Frame your requests around their best self. Dramatize your ideas. Use vivid stories, visuals, and examples. Numbers don't move people, stories do. Throw down a challenge. Appeal to people's desire to excel. I don't think this is within your capability, sometimes that's the most powerful motivation in the world. Part 4, Be a Leader, How to Change People Without Giving Offense or Arousing Resentment. The Art of Leadership Without Resentment. The final section of the book is about leadership, specifically, how to help people grow and change without making them feel attacked, ashamed, or resentful. And the principles here are just as powerful in parenting, teaching, and friendship as they are in management. Key lessons from Part 4. Begin with praise. Always lead with appreciation before correcting someone. It's like a dentist using Novocaine, the pain still happens, but it's bearable. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Instead of, "You made an error," try, "This is mostly great, I wonder if we could look at this section again together." Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing others. This levels the playing field. It says, "I'm not above this. I've been there too." Let people save face. Even when someone is clearly wrong or has failed, give them a graceful exit. This costs you nothing and earns you loyalty. Praise every improvement, even small ones. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. People rise to meet the expectations of those who believe in them. Give people a fine reputation to live up to. Tell someone they're honest, capable, or reliable, and they will work hard to prove you right. Make faults seem easy to correct. Break big challenges into small, manageable steps. Encourage progress over perfection. Make the other person happy about doing what you suggest. Frame requests as opportunities, not burdens. People cooperate when they want to, not when they feel forced to. Okay, so now you have the framework. But let's make this real. How does this actually show up in your daily life? Let me walk you through 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, the workplace. You want a raise. Most people walk into their boss's office and make their case. They talk about how long they've worked there, how hard they've tried, how much they need the money. Carnegie would say, don't start with what you want. Start with what your boss wants. What problems is she trying to solve? What results does he need to show to leadership? Then frame your conversation around how giving you this raise helps them get those results. You're not asking for a favor. You're presenting a business case. That's a completely different conversation. Scenario 2, relationships. Your partner comes home stressed and frustrated. They start complaining about their day. Most people either dismiss it, "It's not that bad, fix it, here's what you should do," or make it about themselves, "Well, my day was terrible too." Carnegie's approach? Just listen. Nod. Ask questions. Make them feel heard. That's it. You don't need to solve anything. You just need to make them feel like they're not alone. That simple act of listening, without judgment, without advice, can save marriages and heal friendships. Scenario 3, leadership and parenting. You have someone on your team, or a child at home, who keeps making the same mistake. Your instinct is to correct them. Again. Firmly. Carnegie says, lead with appreciation first. Find something genuine to praise. Then address the behavior. And frame the correction not as a failure, but as an opportunity to be even better. You're so good at this, I think with just a small adjustment here, you're going to be absolutely outstanding. That's not manipulation. That's the art of developing people.